Hello, Katarina and Andrej. Thank you so much for doing this. It's a pleasure. It's nice to meet you. I've been eager to talk to you about Gentle Streak and all that. I've been using the app for a while, and every time I use it, I'm like, ooh, I want to ask them about this. Ooh, I want to ask them about that. It's one of those apps that like fill me back with hope that there are still teams and products out there that like feel genuine, I can feel the humans behind it, and the quality is recognized, and hopefully they're successful. Like it gives me hope. This is why I do this. So for people, I guess, watching this or listening, if they don't know Gentle Streak, what's the pitch? How do you explain what it is nowadays?
First of all, thank you for having us. The pleasure is all ours. I'm super happy that the app's message gets across like that, like you've just described it, because it is authentic, it is genuine, it's from real people for real people. And about the pitch, I guess it changes all the time, but I don't know, to simplify it, I would say that the app promotes sustainably active lifestyle. We try to do it in accessible and inclusive way. So it doesn't matter where you're at, where your fitness level is at, what your knowledge of the fitness space is. Basically anyone can use it because it adapts to your abilities and capabilities. And then it guides the way. So to avoid exertion, to avoid injuries, to avoid overreaching, and basically also to avoid just sitting on the couch and doing nothing. It's like getting into the gray zone of it. It's like it doesn't see, because it's black and white, but it's all the grays for all the individuals. We're all at a different stage, at a different level. And this is what we're trying to address with the app. So it's not goal-oriented, but it's mostly like you do it for your health, to feel better in your body, in your mind. And it's like an investment in your future self as well.
I like, every time you download an app, there's some certain expectations. Like you kind of know downloading it, what kind of app it is. With this app, I thought I knew what it was, but then it wasn't really what I thought it was. But then it was also not something else. Like I thought maybe this is just like a workout tracker thing. And those apps, usually you download them, you go through the onboarding and you're like, what's your goal? Get stronger or lose weight. And then what's your target? And then how many times a week do you want to go to the gym or something? And then, you set those expectations, which, by the way, usually you're not going to meet them. Like they're unrealistic when, when you sign up to go to the gym in January, you're like, all right, I'm going to go every single day. But this one is no. Like it's just, first it imported a bunch of data, all the data that I already had in Apple Health. So I didn't have to, it already kind of knew my activity levels. It kind of knew what I do. And I still don't really know like what kind of app it is, like to put it in one specific category. It's just like, you explained it very well. I mean, you know it better than I do.
If you get into the details, it's like, yes, I guess it's holistic in a way because it takes into account your daily well-being, your, I don't know, how well you slept. For women, it's also the menstrual.
Not very well, personally. Yeah, we have a baby, and it's funny, like to see the sleep graph. And by funny I mean depressing and sad, but interesting. I like how sometimes even the messaging is like, hey, you met your goal, but it was not very great quality of sleep. So maybe try this and that. Like even all the copy is very gentle. Like it's not like you failed, do better. It's like, I know it's hard, but here's certain ways how to improve.
Because it's life. And as you said, like setting goals that are unrealistic then just leads to you failing and feeling like shit. Nothing, giving up. But it's not how life works. Mm-hmm. So that's why we try to take into account as much as we possibly can via an Apple Watch about where you are today, and then help you make the right decision. Like be it that gentle kick in your butt to move. But if it doesn't feel right, because we don't have the whole truth from your side. I don't know I don't know you have a baby, we don't know.
Exactly. some kind of disability, what kind of injury, we don't really know. Yeah.
And what we're trying to make people be more aware of themselves, like, to think about it, not to just blindly follow what some app says, but to turn inwards as well and to see where they're really at. And then,
yeah, and I want to talk about like the journey of the company and the products, because I looked up, like, just to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is like the timeline. You started the company in 2021.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I don't know if everyone knows this. 2021 was already 4 years ago. I don't know. I had to do a double take. Like, what? Anyway, so you started the company in 2021. And if someone came to me and said, all right, here's the plan. We start a company. The next year, we win an Apple Watch App of the Year award. And then the following year, we're Apple Design Award finalists. And then the year after we win one, an Apple Design Award, I'll be like, get out of here. That's not how life works. But I guess it is for some. That's amazing. Congratulations, by the way. How was that, like, how was that journey? You said you had that goal of, like, that vision for the app. Did it started from that idea? Did it start like by accident, by building something? Like, where did the motivation come?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a plan, like you said. It was not like to win awards, but we knew that we didn't have any marketing budget or anything, but we had lots of knowledge. We are all seniors, and we knew how to build a great app. Katarina and Luca, our co-founders, they already won Apple Design Award with Lake. So we have experience. Well, they have experience how to do it. So yeah, that was what we wanted to do, a great app that had a great user interface, great experience, and we wanted to, into the front page of App Store. That was how that's how we build an app. But the motivation started from our pain. We both burned out I burned out in 2018, I guess. Find an app that would help me guide myself better, to set limits, because I'm quite active. I work out 5.
Quite active, really active.
Yeah.
Okay.
Problem with motivation. I have a problem with bracing myself. And then I wanted to find an app that would, set me limits, to say, come on, man, today you need to rest, not just do it full out. Yeah, based on my data, because I've been using Apple Watch for quite some time, and Apple Health Kit is full of my data, and I said to myself, there must be an app that reads all this data and knows how to guide me. But just like Sebastian said when he was, I watched the interview. You said that there are thousands of camera apps, but there was not a camera app that he wanted to use. It was there are hundreds or thousands, I don't know, fitness apps, but not the app that we want to use. So we built something that we are using right now. We are the users of our app. We're not just creating it. To build an app that would help us, be active as much as possible, but not too much. Yeah.
It's funny how, for most of the people I talk to that have successful products, by successful, like whatever metric you mean, like a well-designed or well-received or whatever, the main goal when they start, it's never to be successful. That's and we hope it's successful, but that's not why we started it. And it's like step one to be successful. Don't try so hard to be successful. When I came to Gentle Street quite late. It was like recently that I think after the ADAs, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard about this app. I think probably like a Mac Stories or something, but I wasn't using it. I haven't tried it. So it was around then that I installed it and went through the onboarding. I actually started using it, and I was already surprised by like how broad in scope of the app already was by then. And it's like usually when we find apps with a high level of polish, attention to detail, and all of that, when they're at their infancy, it's easier to do that. But then as you grow and as you build more features and increase the scope of what the app does, some of that polish sometimes like gets diluted a little bit as you grow. And even though I didn't follow Gentle Streaks like the whole since day one, version 1, like I was surprised by the level of polish and care. Like every single little corner of the app feels intentional and like, you know, not an afterthought at all. What do you think is about the team or like the process? Like how do you make sure that you grow the app while keeping it like true to itself, you know?
It's a great question. It's quite a hard question. I mean, just like I said before, we're seniors. We think that what we are doing, and also we all communicate. We cooperate. It's not like that. I'm a designer, the only designer in the team, but we design the app together. It's not like I prepare something, but then we say, okay, this doesn't work, this works, and so on. And we're not satisfied easily. So, and also Katarina, he's the best user experience tester around. He has no patience at all. So all the apps with bad experience are deleted immediately. So if our app passes her test, that means the experience is simple. And yeah.
Well, if I can add, I think Andrej is incredibly talented when it comes to UX and UI. So whenever we talk, he has a vision where to go, what he wants to introduce in the app, and then because he's more of a pro recreational athlete, then his solutions sometimes may be a bit harder. But then we talk it through, and I think he listens, and I think that's super important. Like he's not stuck on his solutions, but he wants to listen. He wants to hear. And then we just talk amongst ourselves. He shows, like we first talk about the feature, or he thinks of it, and then he creates something, and then he shows it to us, and then we just talk. We bounce off the ideas, we talk pros and cons, and then it's always like, okay, but does this fit the general vibe of the app? Does this, can it create FOMO? Can it cause anxiety? Is it like passive aggressive? Like all of those tests. Is it like setting certain goals that would not work for some type of people? So we have to go through all of that, and then in the end we hope that we have a crystallized idea that we can then introduce into the app. And I think one of the great sides of apps is also they are always evolving, and it doesn't matter. Yes, you have a solution for today, you introduce it, you're happy with it, but that doesn't mean it's like it's stuck in there. It's not set in stone. You have the freedom to change it in time. So I think that's also the beauty of it. Like you're observing how users are reacting, how the app lives in the world. It's how you observe its life in the wild. And you can change stuff, and it's not like you've done something wrong or in the past. No, it's like ever changing. And for me, that's like one of the great things, because even if we mess something up, even if we introduce something that doesn't work fast, we can change it. And within a couple of updates, it's going to be improved. So, and we were using a prototype of the app for 3 years. Like a bunch of people was using it, and we all observed how it changed our habits.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an afternoon job.
Yeah.
Just to me and the developer we build something, MVP, just to see if it works. But we had full-time jobs ourselves, so that's why it took so long.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. So walk me through the process, like, because when I talk to people, maybe they're like solo developers. So what you would consider the design process is relatively short, and then very quickly then jump into code and do the final thing there. With bigger teams, it's like a more high fidelity, polished design phase, and then gets implemented. So with you have a relatively small team, solo designer in the team. what does that process usually look like from like idea to code?
I mean, they're different, not all are the same. Sometimes it's just me. I have an idea. I don't even talk to anyone. I just try to design something and then I show it in a week or two. That's the easiest one. and of course, the more regular one is that when we talk that we need to add something, the users want something, let's figure it out how we can implement it in our app, because we don't want just to copy something from somewhere else. We need to, it needs to make sense in our app, and every time we want to make it as simple as possible. It's normal. Like we start with brainstorming. Sometimes we draw something on a whiteboard, and then I start designing it. I don't know if that's good or not, but I never design simple designs, prototypes or something. I start in a high fidelity designs. Because I can't look at bad design at all. So maybe that's a problem sometimes, but I think I'm quite fast with that, so it doesn't, and so then I show the designs to the team. So and we have another brainstorming. We change things, and then when we are satisfied, just a bit, we put it in code. We don't use prototypes. We tried it prototypes, Sketch has prototyping. But, we tried it at first. Then we said that it doesn't work in our app because, like you have status on the first screen that says how recovered you are and how should you train that day. And you have to see, you need to see that with your own data, so that you see how you feel that day, if that message resonates with how you feel. So if you put that in prototype, you can't do that. I can, because that
Interesting.
day you're not feeling like that, and you won't, read the message the same way you will the day that you are feeling that way. So yeah, we're not using prototypes, but our developers are fast, so we have happening quite quick. So yeah.
And then from the internal testing, I don't know, it depends how long it lasts. Then we go to beta testing.
Yeah, I noticed you have a quite big like Reddit community, which was interesting. Like I don't think I've seen that many products companies use Reddit as like a community forum or whatever you call it. I saw like you're pretty open also with your roadmap and the test flight track you keep. Has it been helpful, I assume, for you?
I think like we've tried, there's so many social medias today, like so many channels. We're on most of them. But I'm questioning it, like, is it worth it? Is it worth your time? Like, why are we doing this and all of that? So that may change in the future. But what we've learned is, yes, that Reddit is the best community for our app. It's like, it's the most engaged community. It's an eager community that give best feedback. It's just authentic, it feels. And yeah, for now, I was also surprised that it caught on and that it has its own life over there. But yeah.
Still on the design and stuff, and I guess it's related to the process. Gentler Streak, I think it's a big part of its design and the appearance and all. Is super heavy on illustration and copy and like editorial pieces. Are you doing those like in-house or no? Or do you work with like external contractors or something to do those?
So most of the things are done in-house except the illustrations. Illustrations are done by the Soren Silekslag. I think it's pronounced like that. He's a really great illustrator. So he did all the illustrations of Your Heart.
Great name.
Yeah, Your Heart, right?
So for people who don't know, that's like the mascot, like the main character in the app, right?
Yeah, and not all get it. The name, the copy. She's our great copywriter, Katarina.
Wow.
So yeah, everything is done by her.
Remarkable. It's really good. I don't have a lot of experience working with illustrators, but the short experience I have is like we would work with someone, build a bunch of illustration work, for us, say like a new rebrand or like the big marketing push. And then, they would go away. And then like if we wanted to expand that, we have to bring them back and like you lose some of that cohesion. So if you have like the go-to person, which looks like you have a close relationship and collaboration with them, it's great. It works. It's working for you. Good job.
At the beginning, because we knew we wanted a mascot from the start to just soften the experience, to get something that you can relate to. And then we knew, okay, it can't be a person. We don't want it to be an animal. And then we were exploring together with him, like what's unique to everyone. And we all have a heart. And it's like,
hopefully.
It comes basically from your heart. So it made sense in that way to go with a funky version of a heart. And then he created your heart, and try to do with it is like, maybe you will sympathize with yourself a bit better if you see your heart as, not so good training. And
So who came up with the name?
I don't know.
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, but it was just
great name.
Yeah, I guess it works.
It does work. I don't know. I don't know what came first. When I saw the name, I already knew like European-based companies. I think because once you start piecing those things together, like your heart, like even how it's spelled, is like, oh, this feels like a Northern European name. Right? The J as your, not Jor. So once you start piecing the things together, like, and then when it hits you, it's fun.
Yeah.
And
we weren't worrying whether people will get it or not. It's just like some sort of like candy in there. So if you get it, you get it.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't get it, it still works.
Fine.
It's like the name of this character. Who cares? Even if you spell it pronounce it Jorhard or something. Like,
we've heard many.
You'll get it. He'll hit you. I want to ask you, the Apple Watch app feels like it plays a big role in the whole experience, which is, I think, more and more, it's rare to see products and companies like invest in the Apple Watch. If anything, they seem to go the other way. Mm-hmm. Some apps being pulled, like their Apple Watch app being pulled. But here it fits so well. So what was that like? I think from the beginning, right? How was that? Like from the beginning, you knew the Apple Watch counterpart. Like it's it's not an afterthought. It's not like a little B app. It's like it's part of the main experience. Was it always important, or kind of grew?
I would say, it was always important. One of the things is like it's the activity path or your daily state that you have on your Apple Watch. And then while you work out, it changes. So you can see in real time how much time you still have to not overreach. And that's not featured on Apple Watch tracker or any other trackers. So there was one thing that we really wanted to be there because it's an important part of the whole context. And then the second thing was also like there's a limited amount of workout types on Apple Watch tracker. Mm-hmm. We have loads of personalized workouts. So that's just from me. That's from my side, and I guess you have more to add to that.
No, I mean, when you said it...
zones.
Yeah, zones also. Yeah, when we built an Apple Watch app, the Apple workout app didn't have HR zones, heart rate zones. Mm-hmm. So that's why we also wanted to build our own tracker, because it makes sense. About the Apple Watch apps, right? When the Apple Watch was introduced, everyone wanted to have an Apple Watch app. Everyone. And it was the same with the iPhone apps. Like when the apps were big, everyone had an iPhone app, even though if it was just on, website, mobile website. Mm-hmm. But I want to say that on Apple Watches, like we found out. The community found out that those apps are not used. They are just there, just to, I don't know, present something that can be seen on the iPhone. So those companies removed the apps from the Apple Watch. But in case we said we will build an app, only if it makes sense. But in our case, it makes sense. There are only few app types that makes sense on the Apple Watch, and of course, fitness tracker is one of them. But of course, it has to bring something different than the Apple Watch workout already has. And back then, we introduced, just like I said, heart rate zones, activity pads. So like Katarina said, you can see how much time you still have to work out, that you don't burn out. That's why we introduced it and it was done quite fast, I believe, in a few months, right? We built it in, I think it was in 1 month. So 1 month to get Apple Watch App of the Year award is quite an achievement. I guess.
Yeah.
Just for Apple Watch,
and also we forgot about the Go Gentler, which are the personalized daily suggestions that you get where you're at. And you can start it on your watch, and it tells you like, okay, today go for a 40-minute run in your heart rate zone 3, and then you're guided along the way. But those plans are all loose. It's not about the target. It's not about 37 minutes straight. No, it's more about somewhere in there. This is where you're at today. Or you can sprint, or you can just chill. So that was also why there is an Apple Watch.
And I have to say props to the developer, whoever worked on that, because the suggestions, when you tap on your phone, like start or something, it pops up a little thing on your watch saying, start. I don't know how you did that. It's so reliable. And I've done a fair share of Apple Watch development, and communicating with your phone, it's like so awful. And I don't know what you did there, but it worked so well. I did that so many times. Like, how are they doing this? Because it just works so fast.
Okay, thank you. We'll bring the message. We'll be super happy to hear positive.
My God, yes. It's not an easy task. So I suppose, based on your previous experience, was going iOS or Apple platforms only, like, that was never a question, or based on your experience, I suppose? Because I assume you got a bunch of requests for, like, Android or something else.
We have lots of requests, but we are all, experts in Apple iOS world. So all our developers are iOS developers.
Been part of the iOS ecosystem for probably now around 15 years, a bit less. The other two co-founders that are both senior iOS developers, Jasna and Luca, that expertise into it. So this is the ecosystem we know. That's one thing. And then the second thing is the Apple Watch is the most reliable source of health information in terms of consumer devices. So if we want to give you a reliable guidance, this is the best source to go to.
Here it's easy to get health data because you only have, we are focused on Apple Watch. We know how Apple Watch writes data into Health Kit, so we get all the data from Apple Health Kit. It's easy to get all data. We don't even know how that works on Android. So When
we say it's easy to get the data, that doesn't mean we get it. It just means that communication between Health Kit and Gentler Streak is like fast, fluent, but we're very strict when it comes to user privacy. We have no servers.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's amazing. And it works so fast, One would think, we have to first get the data and then process it and, run your algorithm or whatever, and then...
Mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty fast. Yeah. I saw that you're like co-financed by the Republic of Slovenia and the EU. And as a EU developer, like, that was fascinating. I think it's the first time I see it. How did that happen? Like, how was that experience? Is that, again, just because it's new to me, like, I didn't know that was a thing.
When we started, we're what do you call it? We've invested our own money into the company. We weren't looking for an outside investment, so we're bootstrapped even to this day. Apart from that, European help. So when we started, we were looking for ways that could support our growth or like prolong our runway till we get self-sufficient. And there's this program in Slovenia, I think it's called P2, it's for startups. And each year they were giving away, I don't know, 54,000 euros for promising startups. So 24 companies each year got it. You applied, you went through a pitch, and then, if you qualified, you got it. And we were one of the rare app startups that got it, because everyone was like, that's how they did. No one's going to give you cash for that. No, do hardware. So we got that.
Congrats. That's great.
Anyone. Yeah, thank you. It was good. It was like, it helped a bit.
Yeah, I bet, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Every help helps. Cool. So I have to ask, it's literally in front of me. I have to ask about the Apple Design Award.
Mm-hmm.
What was the impact of that in the team, in the product? I think I asked everyone else roughly the same question, because I like that it's always different. No pressure to give a different answer, but like, did it help with validation? Like, okay, this is good. Like, we don't have to worry anymore. Or does increased pressure, like, okay, now you're an Apple Design Award winner app, you have to behave like one. Like, I always wondered, what does that do to the team and the product? What's the impact?
Mm-hmm. I would say a bit of both, really. But maybe because we got the App of the Year award in 2022, I think that was the first big break and game changer for us, because that put us on the map. I mean, it's a huge honor, obviously. It's sometimes hard to describe, like, what you feel. And ultimate seal of approval, but it's also pressure in a way.
Yeah, I bet. I bet it must help, like you said, to put you on a map or something. Because from what I've seen, this is my impression from it, doesn't seem like you invest a lot in marketing. So how I heard about it was Mac Stories, or like even the ADAs, because I'm in this space, right? So I pay attention to that. But like that must help with marketing, with just.
As I said, we're self-sustained, we're bootstrapped, so we don't have an excessive marketing budget. Basically, I would say that today, roughly 90% of our users is organic. So they've either the App Store, via media, word of mouth. 10% is us dabbling in paid user acquisition, but still not being there. So we mostly rely on the word of mouth, and app just doing a great job at what it does. That's why it's important, like, for us to create, like, we believe that we can create a quality app, but risky. It's always because we knew it's not straightforward. It's not the idea. It's not just, it's a workout tracker. No, it gets more complicated. And then it's like, what if not fit for it yet? I mean, we've done our research and it showed there's space for this sort of apps. No one's just done it. But why have they not done it yet? Did they try and they failed? So it's all of that. It's like, it was a risky move, but we totally believed and we put our all into it, like, from the development side of things, product side of things, and then trying to do the PR, because we do PR in-house as well. And that we tested the waters with that, because we said, okay, if people are going to get back to us, that is a signal we have something on our hands, because it's we wouldn't pay for it, obviously, because we don't have the money. So it was also like a really simple test. Is there an interest on the journalist side of things? And if there is, I guess that's a good signal for us to keep going on with that.
No, for sure. I think the getting traction based 100% on the quality of the app is the hardest to get, right? Like, I don't know, ads or something, anyone with the budget could run them. But like this type of PR of marketing, like based on the quality of the app, is like every individual contributor's dream. Like, oh no, the work will speak for itself. That's the hard part. But so it's great news that in your case, well, that part, the hardest one, we managed to get. Everything else is marketing is tricky, and I don't know much about it, but yeah.
It also depends on your goals, I guess, because we're not chasing the unicorn. We're doing what we love to do. We live what we do. This is our lifestyle as well. It's just, there's none of that pressure, like, KPIs, you have to do this, and the freedom of being an independent studio, because it's just, you do what resonates well with you.
Yeah. That's a dream. Not for a lot of people. I don't know what they're missing, but like, that's a dream. Do the thing you want and get to whatever point you need where you can keep doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good. I'm really happy for you all. I think this is, yeah, like I said in the beginning, how I started this whole, it gives me hope. Like, yes, these apps get to exist. There's people making great work. It's great to see. One thing that I always ask in these interviews that I've been doing is if you are comfortable, if you could share like a sketch file and show us a little bit behind the scenes, like what does that look like?
Cool. Okay. Yeah, this is our first step. I have organized everything by tabs, and then just like you can see here. I mean, you can ask me what you want for me to show you. But.
Love the how clean the doc is. Good job. Cool. A lot of pages. So like separate pages per screen, or like different variations.
Here, these are the variations of the same screen. If you're familiar with our app, this is activity pad. Yeah. But it has 3 versions. It's like, here is the daily version, this is 7-day, and the 30-day activity pad. So these are different ones, and also this is actually something that is not out yet, but it doesn't matter.
Sneak peek.
I think a different category here. Currently we have here for you, but we will update this with more useful content. So yeah, these are different variations of the same screen. And then here, if you can see, these are the new in-app widgets that we will introduce. So yeah, I export this to Zeppelin so the developer can see what they need to develop.
Nice. Okay, and then you do like dark mode for every screen, or like, we'll do 1 or 2 so you get the idea of the rest. With the dark screen, it's like, yes, sometimes I prepare it, but mostly I just sit with the developer and we go through the app, change things. It's faster. It only takes us, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes to do the fixes, and that's it. Because mostly Apple's colors, so those, how they will, look in the light and in the dark mode. So mostly everything works from the start, but yeah, some fixes are sometimes necessary. Yeah, same. Something I've been thinking about a lot, about like try to incorporate dark mode and different variants in the design tool, like in Sketch. And a lot of the times it's like, well, but dark mode we'll just do 1 or 2 so you get the idea how it looks, but the rest is like, well, just swap the colors. Like everything should work, Interesting. Yeah, that's cool. So you do the like iPad app, is it like similar? Like you do the main iPhone and then we kind of know how it should adapt to other screens?
We introduced iPad app a year and a half ago. So yeah, we designed everything. I prepared a design for iPad from scratch. Yeah, I can also show that one. Let me just Janitor string iPad app. Just it has to.
So you do like a separate file
Yeah, I mean that was at start because we need to see how it will look on iPad. So I designed everything, but later on it's like it just stretches to the to the bigger screen.
Should adapt.
Yeah, not everything like activity summary. I can show it. Like it's activity summary here. This one looks totally different on the iPad. So this one is for the iPhone. And then when we prepared for the iPad, we wanted to make it different, not stretched version of it. So yeah, this one is completely different one. Yeah, so that's
cool.
That was stuff. Sorry.
I gotta ask, that path, is it all vector? You did that? Or just screenshot the map or something?
This is vector, I believe. Yeah, it is, yeah.
Wow, so cool. That's a lot of work.
Just 100 dots. Yeah.
Yeah. I also have to ask, I've seen in the marketing, like promo materials, the run around Apple Park. Did someone actually did that run?
I did last year.
Oh my god. Amazing. Okay.
I did it just because I wanted to have that map for our promo material.
Okay. I don't blame you. Yeah,
Look,
that was amazing.
Yeah. I did it.
That is amazing.
And also did photos because we introduced photos in the activity details later on. So I take a run. I took my iPhone with me, so I made some photos. So we're also using this. Look, I was running near Apple Store just because we can use this.
I mean, was Apple cool with it? I suppose so. The app is still up, so yeah. No. That's so cool.
They gave us the award on the day this happened.
Oh, that's brilliant. So it is like it's a whole memory, isn't it? It's not just pictures and that's so cool. That's so cool. It's one thing that I want to get better at is taking pictures during my runs. I'm always like, no, don't break the flow, don't stop to take pictures. But now maybe if I'm a bit gentler with my runs, I'm like, no, take the picture, take a break. Okay, cool. This is amazing. Yeah. This is really cool. Thanks for sharing this. Oh, and I see, do you run dark mode all the time?
No. Sketch. Yeah, I do. In the Mac OS. Mac OS is automatic, but for sketch, always have dark mode. I don't know what. It's lighter on the eyes to have dark background. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, your artboards pop, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Also, are you using a mask for the rounded board, the corners?
No, this one.
Yeah.
No, it's from Apple's. It's from Apple stamp symbols used. I don't know where is it.
Okay.
Here it is. I just take their product bezels and I cut it out. Something.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, very soon. I don't know where this is. I don't know if it's in beta already, but you should be able to change the border radius of the artboards.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not out yet.
Because this is my reaction that I'm using all over the
see.
Is the simple rate, and then I'm using it, and it stretches to the desired size. Yeah.
Can I just? Do you have an Apple Watch mock-up in hand? It's okay if not.
So yeah.
This is so good.
Yeah, this is the first design of the home screen before they introduced the Apple Watch iOS 10. They interfaced, and here are the new screens. Only what's different. Yeah. Of course, not everything is live yet. I can see here, but yeah, it's live. It's a bit all over the place.
It's nice. With a lot of my favorite apps, third-party apps, you manage to strike that balance of it feels very native, and yet it feels very unique still. I'll look at the screenshot and I'll say this is Gentle Streak,
So
So
I mean,
great job.
yeah, that's what we want to achieve, to have a user interface, user experience that users are familiar with. So if you want to do something that users are familiar with, it has to act like a native iOS app. So we start from there. We start with using the Apple's library, and we do little design changes that then at the end it looks a bit different, but similar but different, just like you said, it's like gentler strict, but it acts like it should on that device.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for talking to me. This is amazing. It was a privilege to get to meet you. And yeah, any last pitch or like where can people? I guess they can download the app. It's probably in the App Store's home screen somewhere right now, but if not now, just wait a bit. It'll get back, I hope.
Today we've released 5.2 with health widgets, so maybe that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. Okay, I added the widget, and to be fair, I was like, oh, I wish they had more widgets. So
yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the weekend. And everyone watching this, go download Gentle Streak. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Have a great one.